Hey, so there's been a lot of people on the internet, social media, who have been talking about our spiritual gifts coming online. And people don't really understand what kind of spiritual gifts there are. Well, I'm going to give you one spiritual gift that you can tap into. It's active now. I don't actually know how long it's been active. I think it's been active since probably the 1950s. You're going to go, what? My spiritual? Yeah, have you been missing out? Sounds like a lot of us have, but where did we find out about this? Joel S. Goldsmith, a spiritual teacher from the 1950s, 1960s, an American man, very unique man. Anyways, it's he's got very long lectures on YouTube, the original lectures from way back when, and I can't help but tell you, but there's good information in there, unbelievable good. Anyways, Dr. Goldsmith gave us instructions on how to activate telepathy. This was around, I don't know, 1950, 1960. How come they don't teach you this in school, in kindergarten? Anyways, this is how you do it. If you're going to talk to people by telepathy, then this is going through Source. And Dr. Goldsmith, that wasn't really a doctor. They're just giving him an honorary doctor of divinity or something. So, okay, so let's say I wanted to call President Bill Clinton. Joel tells us that what you do is you call Central. Just like an old, that's what the original telephones, you couldn't dial direct to somebody else. What you did is you picked up the phone, like the old-fashioned telephones before they had anything at all. It was just a box, and you lifted up the receiver, and you waited, and then at the central switchboard, one of the operators, a human operator, would click in and say, "Oh, hello, and who do you want to connect to?" And you say, "Connect me to the local grocery store, Safeway." And she says, "One moment, please." And then the operator goes and moves some connecting wires and connects you up. And then you can talk to Safeway. And that's the same way that you do telepathy to contact President Bill Clinton. So this is it. So I said, yes, Central, is President Clinton available to take my call? And the answer from Central is yes. Okay, hi, President Clinton. I just wanted to say hello. It's Bobby Burrows. And any messages that you want to give the population that are watching my video? President Bill said that's what all he wanted to do was just tell all of you. Anyways, what you need to do in order to try this out, I'm serious. I'm not going to kid you. Do you think that a random stranger calling up President Bill Clinton is going to get anything other than something like that? Well, you never know, but President Bill's out there. Can President Bill, does he actually have to know that I called him during his busy day? Let's muscle test and find out. Okay, President Bill is consciously aware now that I called him. No, he's not. So what are we contacting? We're contacting his consciousness, yes. And it's just that the consciousness is what? Well, the consciousness is there. All of us have got, what they used to say, we only use 10% of our brains. Well, there's 90% of our brains that are just running like idle cycles. That's what they used to call the cycles of a computer back in, I don't know, the 1990s, when we were more interested in the statistics and the stats of computers. Zero wait states in about 1988, maybe. That was like a feature on those old computers, the 386s and things, zero wait states. A wait state was a cycle where the computer was busy and you couldn't use it to do things that you wanted to do. So anyways, President Bill has got a consciousness, and everybody does. And if you go through Central, why do you go through Central? Because you have to have permission to contact President Bill. Well, that's why you go through Central, because Central would be, it's just a place where President Bill is consciousness is going to say, I'm available for phone calls, just for personal people that know me, or for the general public, or whatever. You never know what you're going to get, but how else are you going to talk to President Bill by telepathy unless you use the phone? I don't know. It's just the way that he said. He said you have to ask permission because when you go through Central, who is Central? Central is God. The central switchboard is God. So that's all you're going to do. And then you don't have to go through the formality of all this once you've seen how this works. But you might just say, put a primary call in through to, I don't know, the Safeway, and just check to see if they've got Raisin Bran. Because I've been a number of times to the Walmart, and they didn't have the Raisin Bran when I went in there. And it just, can you just, yeah, Safeway on Arthur Street. Do you have Raisin Bran on this shelf? Or are you sold out? You got some. Perfect. You're gonna have to test this out. Because this is consciousness, this is a gift, and you're just try it out. That's all you're going to do. It's just, something that's sometimes out of stock at your local grocery store. Just do. Now, do you have to say central? Well, once you've got this idea in your head that you're going through God to get to people, because the other way you do it, you pick up the phone and you call them. Sometimes you call them and like they're kind of annoyed that you called them, and because they got to go and drop everything. They're driving or something, and the phone rings and it's like, oh, somebody's call. I got to go and pull over because it's an emergency call or something. You don't need to do all that. Why? Because you're calling their consciousness, and then you don't disturb them. Will they know I don't know. You're going to have to play with this. I mean, I don't have anybody else. This is just a brand new video, and I just saw that Goldsmith video just the other day. So this is all hot off the presses. We should have all known this in the 1950s. Anyways, I'm letting you know because it's that easy. You don't have to wait for, an implant, an operation or something in order to get this stuff to activate. It's very simple. You already know how to do this. When you were 2 years old, you played with dolls, didn't you? Or teddy bears? And you know how to make the teddy bear talk. But a teddy bear says, it's time that we went for milk and cookies. Oh, you did that when you were a little kid. You have not lost that ability. Are you going to get accurate information from people? Well, you're going to have to play with it and find out. All of a sudden, they're going to have to come to the same conclusion that I'm still under demonic attack. What difference does it make? I don't know. We're in the middle of, Reptilianville, where, sometimes the reptilians make it very difficult to communicate with other people. To use phones and things. So, you can just check in with yourself, Like even if you want to phone somebody with your smartphone, check in with Central. Just say, Central, I was going to call. You don't have to use so many words. I was going to call Bill. You don't say that. Just say, Central, is Bill available? They're going to say, not right now. Is Bill available to take my cell phone call? Not right now. And try later on. Is Bill available? No, he's never going to take your call, sir. That's what God is going to say. I'm sorry, Bill has decided he never wants to talk to you again. So don't call him. That's the message, because that's the spiritual requirement, and to contact other people they've got to be available for you. And if you go through Central, the central switchboard of God, then you're not going to piss them off. You're not going to piss God off either, because God gets very annoyed with the way that we treat one another. So we have to have more respect, and let's use consciousness rather than texting somebody, are you ready to take my call? Because if they're driving and that thing goes off, it's like very distracting, especially if they're expecting an important call from somebody else. In other words, what you're doing is you're using better intuition than what people have now. People have shitty intuition. So what you need to do is just access Central. It's already built into you. Because you already got a God self built into you. Most people don't know it because we got so much ego. And ego is like a layer of shit that's been smeared all over our God selves. So get past the ego and just say, Central, please put me through to